Guys, never stop judging it today, and I'm going to be making my very own Legends Limited tier list here. I haven't actually done one ever. I've only ever like judged a unit on when they've come out and whatnot, so I should be able to make a pretty decent one here. I think there's only 3 LFs I don't have. I think it's this Future Gohan, this Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and of course the new Saku I've tried to pull, but I just can't. I've got like a few more summons I'll put into him, and then I'm done with that banner if I don't pull him. But we'll start off straight away. I don't think I'm gonna include these non-Zenkai versions. Might as well just include the Zenkai version. So Beerus. Okay, we got Z, S, 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 A, B, C, D. I think I'd put Beerus in S at the moment. I feel like he's like in between S and A. It's hard to decide which one he should be in, but I feel like S is a good place to put him in as the standard for now. Maybe later on I'll change it, but I think he's a pretty good Legends Limited unit, especially with him being at Zenkai 7. He can do quite a lot of blast damage. His main ability draws quite a powerful ultimate move. His main ability, lock-in ability, is pretty darn good. So honestly, I'm pretty good with where he is at the moment. Broly. Now this is a unit who I think is probably higher than Beerus. I'm gonna be judging these lot at like 14 stars the max. I've come across my fair share of really powerful LS, and I'm gonna say this Beerus, this Broly is honestly pretty darn ridiculous. His ability to like just get card draw speed when he makes characters swap, just get powerful just over time is just absolutely ridiculous. His green card ridiculous, his blue card having the feint ability, the ultimate move making it so that he switches out his opponent is pretty darn ridiculous considering all his unique abilities as well. It just makes it so that he gets even more powerful. So I'm very happy with him being at S at the moment. Now Frieza, I'm kind of glad he got a Zenkai. Oh, there he is. For a second I didn't see the Zenkai. I thought he was just going to be next to him. But yeah, his Zenkai saved him a lot, because I'd honestly put him in SS tier. I'm going to judge these not on like based on the teams they're on, just overall their performances solely based on how they do. And I'm going to say he is a phenomenal unit. He could do pretty decent damage. He could tank like crazy. His support capabilities are nuts. Him bringing a blue to the table is crazy. He's just a pretty phenomenal Zenkai unit, and I'm pretty glad we're putting him at SS. I feel like that's pretty fair, because I think he's above these two quite a lot, but there's not too much of a difference right there. Okay, let's move on to Future Gohan. See, what I want to do here is I want to put him there, and him there, because I haven't pulled them, and I can't really judge them on whether I've used them or not. But I'll judge them solely on like, I've seen Garesh's showcases of them, I've seen them in PvP, high star, and I've got to say, okay, let's just stick these two here. I'd put him SS. He is ridiculously good. Like, his ability to go type neutral, his ability to just go, I'm pretty sure on his strikes he gets vanish back and whatnot, so there's times where he's used his vanish, done a combo with strikes, and got his vanish back so that he can literally just start gathering ki again and just combo again. Pretty darn ridiculous, and he does hit pretty hard. Like, his ult is pretty hard hitting, and overall just a great unit with endurance. So what's that not to put him in SS about? Okay, now moving on to Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Honestly, I was very disappointed when he came out. I think he was the first banner that ever introduced like the 1 LF banner, 1 sparking unit banner, which was just a weird take on Legends really. It's just a weird way of like doing it. I feel like they should always have like at least 1 regular sparking accompanied with a Legends Limited. That's just how I feel, but I don't know whether this is just them trying to market LFs as trying to put them as something above like the normal sparkings and whatnot, which we already knew they were. But for now, I'd probably put him B or C. He's by far one of the lowest out of all of them. I feel like at the moment I'll be pretty lenient. I'll put him in B, because I feel like there's a few others out there who at the moment are slightly worse than him, but he's just was very underwhelming when he came out. He does decent damage if you have a lot of stars on him, Like, you need to have at least 7 stars in him for him to do noticeable damage. Otherwise, he's pretty much a burden for your team. Other than his like cover change and his very powerful blue and ultimate move, I'd say he's very lackluster. So yeah, very disappointing LF when he first arrived. Considering how hype Super Saiyan 4 Goku is. Like, Super Saiyan 4 form is like a ridiculous form. It's like the pinnacle of the GT series. So yeah, for him to be at this place is not good whatsoever. Now onto the South. I'd honestly say it's tough to say. I'm gonna put him SS, but I don't think he's better than Future Gohan. But I think he's really, you know what? It's tough because I kind of do think he's better, but then there's some cases where I don't. In my opinion, I will say he's pretty high up there. It's tough for me to judge. As I said, I haven't got these units to try them out myself. I've only seen what others have done. And from what I've seen, once you know how to use him, where you kind of force people to have to not play passive, because if you play passive, he can just get his unique gold filled up so that he does a lot of damage. And if you know how to fully utilize him, I say he's very high up there on SS, maybe close to Z tier, because he is a very powerful unit if you know how to use him. So I'm going to put him here for people who fully utilize his abilities and everything. And if you don't, I'd say he's probably in S tier. But yeah, that just shows how crazy it is if you know how to use unique gold and whatnot. Gogeta Blue. Honestly, I think this dude is phenomenal. I'm going to put him above the Future Gohan. I think he hits crazy hard. His ability to gain health is ridiculous. Like, him paired with Vados makes it so that you could go from half health to full health in like 30 timer counts, which is ridiculous. He can hit hard. His ultimate move can do more damage, even though it's one of the hardest hitting ultimates in the game. His green card counter, if you get it off, goodbye to your opponent, because they're just not living anymore. And yeah, he's ridiculous. Now on to Zenkai Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. I don't really need to say anything else. Phenomenal damage, support capabilities with his uniques, ridiculous. Could just absolutely tear into his opponents. Last man standing, obliterates just gods, anything. It doesn't matter if you're blue, it doesn't matter. Like, he doesn't even need to use his main ability to go type neutral, and he'll still do a ridiculous amount to them. So yeah, that just goes to show how powerful and ridiculous he is. Okay, considering we got the Super Saiyan 3 Goku here, of course I'm gonna do the Zenkai. I've got to say I consider him also Z tier. It's tough because these two, I'd say, are very close to each other in terms of like being the #1 unit in the game. It's tough to choose sometimes, because sometimes I'm swayed towards Super Saiyan 3 Goku, sometimes I'm more swayed to Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. But overall, just what I think it's the Gohan. But this Goku is very good. The cover change ability, how he can go type neutral, is pretty powerful. His card draw speed he gets, his blue card does a lot. His green card, if you get that off, is pretty powerful. Ultimate, it's just a ridiculous unit overall, and just instills fear in everyone. I think the main thing that makes him ridiculous about is his defensive capabilities. He can tank like a truck. If you set him up for a defensive cell at some ridiculous Z plus defensive equips to him, he's gonna be just a stone wall that people are gonna struggle with. You'll use your cover change whenever you want, because you know that he's just gonna be able to tank God knows everything that people throw at him. So ridiculous unit right there. Now Zenkai Namek Goku, honestly, kind of fallen off. He's not as good as he was once he first got a Zenkai, but I'd still say he's like close in terms with Beerus. I'm gonna put him higher than Beerus. I think he has a bit more capabilities, mainly because of the last man standing. His last man standing makes him very viable, because I've come across lots of teams with this guy where I've taken out the other two, he'd been low health, gotten all that health back, and he's just absolutely obliterated. It's mainly his blue card counter as well. That is such a powerful mechanic that it makes people literally stand there and watch you, because you pop in main ability once is in Super Saiyan form, and they're just like, what can I do? Do I try and fake you out? And you know they're gonna try and like do a strike cancel or something, so you can maybe catch them out with a blast while they cancel it on something. And it's just a very powerful mechanic for him to just make full advantage of. So yeah, I'd say he's S tier. UI Goku, now this guy has fallen off quite a bit since he's come out. I'd say I have him at 5 stars, and I think he does decent, but I feel like you need to have him like in red stars for him to still pull his weight nowadays. So I feel like A is a good place for him to have. I know a lot of people say you need to know how to fully utilize this dude, because if you know how to use this dude, he can help you quite a lot, because you can use your unique gorge. Don't let it so that the unique gorge is gone to tap blast and whatnot, or just taps, because that's just a waste of it. You sit far, you move to the side, you wait until they attack, get the unique gorge gone. You can vanish if you need to, and then while you're recovering your vanish, you recover your unique gorge, so you get that back. No, you use your unique gorge just to get your vanish back, and then you're like back at the position you're in. And then that blue card make it so that you can get unique gorge, and it hits pretty hard. It's pretty nice. His green card, very powerful, giving him card draw speed. That AoE green card as well, one of the best green cards in the game. So you know he's still pretty annoying to go up against, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with him being A. He's maybe low S. I might put him low S depending on who else I have in here, but at the moment I'm content with him being an A. Margin Vegeta, honestly probably my favorite LF out of all of these. He's just such a powerful hitter. I'm honestly good. I'm gonna put him in A because I feel like he isn't quite worthy of being alongside some of these, just because he's quite. See, I want to say he's quite outdated, but still, I use him at 2 stars, and he tears apart people. Like, if you saw my Legends Limited, I think, was it my latest one? He absolutely does damage. You know what? I'm kind of considering putting him in S. I think he's a bit better than UI Goku, and considering he's older than UI by like quite a long time, I've got to say he does deserve to be in S. He hits like a truck. Once he's transformed, he doesn't even need like Angel Vegeta or the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta to buff him, because he can just hit like a tank. Once he's transformed, his strikes pop off. His blue card is one of the most damaging in the games, and as I said, I've only used him at 2 stars. So if you have him anywhere near 14 stars, I can imagine him maybe even being SS. But just from my experience, I'm gonna put him there, and yeah, that's just all I've got to say about him. Now Piccolo, it's kind of weird because I've only pulled this Piccolo twice, so I only have him at 3 stars. I haven't been able to get him to the position where I can try him as Zenkai, but I've come across my fair share of this Zenkai 7 Piccolo on region teams, and I've got to say he is really good. In my eyes, I'd say he's probably, I'd say he's the best S at the moment out of all of these, because his ability to gain his vanish back through transforming, getting stronger from transforming as well, is just ridiculous enough. So just getting that is even more powerful. His green card giving him a blue, which is a very powerful blue, is ridiculous. And his main ability destroys his enemy's cards. He can tank crazy. Yeah, he fits ahead of all of these in my eyes. So yeah, I'm content with that. Now this is what I'm considering as probably the worst. I'm gonna put him in B. I don't think he's like, oh my days, you can't use him nowadays, but I feel like you need to have him at least 7 stars. To be honest, I think you need him at least 9 stars for him to like actually do noticeable damage, because he's just not cutting it anymore. And yeah, I'd honestly say he's probably the worst LF at the moment, and probably one of the most deserving LFs to get a Zenkai next, alongside this Vegeta, who I'd probably put him A, because he can do some pretty phenomenal damage. Once his main ability is popped, he gets that card draw speed. His strike damage does do a nice amount. He can knock him with that ultimate, which is pretty devastating for blue units, because he can tear blue units apart. Even on type neutral, you need to have him start up, but he can do quite a lot. So I'm pretty content with him being in A alongside UI Goku, and yeah, that's not too bad at the moment. VB, Now VB, this is an interesting one because I feel like he is pretty ridiculous. I'm gonna put him at S, but I feel like he's more high A, low S. I think he's probably gonna stay in S, but he'd probably be the lowest in S. But he is pretty darn annoying. My Legends Limited Edition number 2, where I featured him, he was still pretty good to this day. I don't think he's anywhere near, like, nowhere near as good as when he first came out, but that's ability with his strikes to draw another strike. He gets key, can make it so that he prolongs combos quite a bit, could do quite a lot of overall damage. His ult does still hit pretty hard, and yeah, he's still pretty powerful to this day, so I'm happy with him being the lowest S tier. So Kid Buu. Now Kid Buu is definitely, I'd put him here. I'd say these two I'd consider very close in comparison. I'd say he's just below Gogeta Blue in my eyes and just above him because his ability with his green card is one of the best, like, powering up ones just in general. I'm just surprised how powerful he could do. Like, he could get key over time. He could just do so much damage in just like a combo. It's ridiculous. Get his vanish back. His ultimate does a lot. His blast damage is ridiculous. Blue card ridiculous. He deserves to be in SS tier, definitely. Okay, Rose Goku Black. Honestly, you guys are probably going to be surprised where I put him, but in my eyes, I'm putting him here. He is really good. Like, a lot of people hate on this dude a lot, but once you get those bleed effects going, you get like those strikes going. He does nice strike damage. I'd say he is very surprisingly good compared to what people consider him. I've come across I'm pretty sure I came across the highest is 10 stars, and that 10-star one literally was doing a combo on me and taking out like half my units off. I had some pretty powerful units as well. I don't go into ranked matches with some weak teams, and he was doing a lot to them, and I was like, wow, that was ridiculous. Even when I tried him out not too long ago, I think I have him at 3 stars. He does a nice amount. His green card just make it so that you can get that blue card, make it type neutral. Him nullifying endurance, which is pretty good against like this Gohan and whatnot, is pretty powerful because there are a lot of endurance type units out there that could be taken out. This Gohan, Roberry, who is a very powerful defensive free unit, Toppo, just taking them out is pretty good. So him being able to do that is very nice. So yeah, I'm honestly putting him there. A lot of people will probably say, how can you put him above Bodhi? I think he's better than Bodhi. Not by like a crazy amount, but I think he's better than him. He's just about better than this dude, and yeah, that's what I'm putting him as. And Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, probably the most underwhelming, headlining main LF for the anniversaries yet, because they should have made him a defensive type. I know they probably thought, we haven't had a defensive LF for the anniversary yet, let's see how it is with him. And I've got to say, it just wasn't good enough for him. He should have, he tanked like his first like damage reduction is pretty good. That minus 80% or something like that is good. You can notice it, especially if you put on some defensive recurse. But then after that, it's not the best tanking, and his damage isn't even that good either. I'd honestly say I put him above VB. I put him in S, but I don't think he comes close to this dude. Like, I don't think these two are that close to this mod of the year, Beerus and whatnot. I think he can do pretty well, but it's just not as good as what you need him to do. Especially if the only way he's gonna do well once again, well, anything noticeable, is at like 6 stars and whatnot. Because I have him at 3 stars, and it's now and again I'm like, okay, do I want to go into him because he'll just die at this position? Like, at this point, he's gonna be a loss for me, if anything, which is kind of underwhelming considering how hype Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is. Like, he's a fusion warrior. Fusion warriors are by far one of the most powerful in the Dragon Ball series, and when they go into like another form beyond just like their normal fusion, it's even stronger. So for him to be here is ridiculous. I wanted him to be like on par with this Sal, Gogeta Blue and whatnot, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with putting him there. Now, Merge Zamasu, I would put above Rose. Would I put him above Gohan? I think him and Gohan, it's tough. These three, I'd say, are in a pretty similar position. I'd say it's pretty tough arranging which order they go in, but in my opinion, I'm gonna actually put him above Kid Buu. I'd say he's just below. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say he's above Gogeta Blue as well. I think he is a very powerful unit. His defenses do make him a bit lackluster, but if you play smart with him, you make it so that you got that green card, you vanish, and when you vanish, you utilize that green card well. You don't just throw out your blue so that you're trying to catch him off guard. You're playing wisely with him, then he is definitely where he's meant to be. If you make it so that you play with him and you get hit a lot, he's probably below Rose. But in my eyes, I use him pretty well, and I gotta say I prevent him from being hit quite well, especially with the teams I run him on. So I've gotta say, okay, you know, I'm gonna move him down just one more because I think the defenses are just what's making him a bit weaker than Gogeta Blue, but he is still a very powerful unit, so I am very happy with. This tier list isn't looking too bad at the moment in my eyes, but now, of course, this dude is Z tier. I wouldn't say he's... Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, he is very close in comparison to this dude because his revival mechanic makes it so it's pretty similar to this dude's cover change, which makes it so that the opponents don't want to rush this unit, or they don't want to rush any team with this unit on it, because revive makes it so that they will just get it wasted and they'll go to his second form. He'll just cover change it, and to be honest, I'm gonna put him above him. I can honestly see him being slightly better than him, and there's probably gonna be some people saying, nah, he's like definitely second best, which fair play, you can definitely say he's second, but in my, I feel like once he's used that revival mechanic as well, he does a mega ton amount of damage. Like, it's ridiculous. On par with this, he's kind of like, I wouldn't say he's like the in-between of these two, because he's like crazy damage, just bursts out of nowhere, and he's like, he can be rushed for the cover change to take it away, makes it so that the opponents don't want to do anything and still do a decent amount. I'd say he's like a combo of these two. He makes it so that people can't really rush while he's there, and he can do a phenomenal amount of damage. Plus, you've got his green card that reduces his sub count, a blue card that reduces his sub count, his ability to heal, his green card making him stronger, his first main ability making it so that his cards are reduced and whatnot, his second main ability then make it so that he draws his OP blue card, one of the strongest in the game, and just powers it up, which makes it just so powerful. Yeah, I'm honestly content with putting him there. Honestly, I'm close to putting him above this dude, but this dude is just too ridiculous. So yeah, that's where I stand with that. Okay, this Frieza. Now, Frieza is honestly pretty darn good. I wouldn't say he's anything crazy, but I would say he makes it above Rose in SS. I don't think he quite compares to Future Gohan. Future Gohan's got an edge over him, but his green card is very powerful. His blue card is very powerful, considering it does like area damage to the people, to your other battle members. It's very powerful. Like, you can see them getting like a quarter of their health being taken away just from getting hit by it. It's ridiculous how much damage he can do, and honestly, that just makes it so he's up there. His main ability giving him his vanish back, him drawing his ultimate, him just having cardio speed in general. He has blast armor. Honestly, very powerful, and it's tough to like arrange SS, because there's times where I'm thinking I could put him here, but then I'm like, Kid Buu, I could put Kid Buu here. So it's it's just very tough, but I'm gonna stick with how I've got it at the moment. Now Goten, I honestly really like Goten. Some people are like he's just quite mid, but I think now that I'm thinking about it, I might have to just demote. You know what, for now I'm gonna stick with how it is. I might do some few changes at the end, but at the moment I'm gonna put Goten. I'm gonna put Goten here. I really like Goten, like his ability to come in if there's another Gohan, he draws that extra blast. His blast damage does a very nice amount of damage. He's not like the most like ability crazy unit. He's a pretty standard unit. He can do quite a lot of damage. His green changes his strikes to blast. His blue card does give him vanish back if it connects with. I don't even think it needs to connect. I'm not too sure, but it is a pretty good blue card, him getting his vanish back. And I've got to say, I just overall enjoy using him. I think he is pretty powerful, so I'm pretty content with him. He's definitely SS tier for me. Maybe S tier after I rearrange some stuff, but for now I'm putting him there. Now, Evolution Vegeta, I am gonna put here. I love this unit. I'm close to putting him above Cell, mainly because I don't have him, but yeah, I think he's incredible. Him just having it so that he's got infinite ki, he can just do combos over and over and over. You can do combos at some point where you're below 50 ki, but because you keep on doing it and like you charge stepping and whatnot, you get it back to 50 and you can use a blue, which is very powerful. It's timed nullification when it's used so that you have it for 3 seconds. What I tend to do sometimes when I'm up against a very powerful red unit, like let's say I'm up against Transformer Bodak, this Red Gohan, this Bird Zamasu, if you use his blue to make it so that they get rid of the vanish and like combo it into the ultimate or just combo it in general, he will tear apart them, and that is a very powerful usage of his blue card. Overall, he's just phenomenal. His ultimate crazy damage, him just overall a very beautiful unit. And you know what, in my eyes I'm gonna put him above this out. I don't have this house. I use him, I've seen how good he is. He's phenomenal. If you have him at high start, my days is he powerful. And yeah, in my personal opinion, I'm gonna put him above him. I think even if I had this out, I probably would have put this Vegeta above him, so I'm content with him putting him being at the highest SS. Now this Vegeta, honestly, really good. I will definitely put him in SS tier. I think he's better than Rose. I think he's better than him. Better than him. I think he's around here. Okay, I honestly think he's here then. It's so tough making it, man. Making a tier list was way harder than I thought. Like, it's tough because I honestly think like this area of SS, you could rearrange it in any way and I think it'd be crazy. Like you could have this Zamasu at the top, this Kid Buu at the top, but okay, let me see. So Gogeta Blue I think is the best out of these. Who would I say is the second best? I would then say I'm gonna actually put Kid Buu second. I think Kid Buu is ridiculously powerful. I then say Zamasu. I then say Future Gohan. Okay. Put him there. Yeah, you know what? I might need to move Brody to S tier here. Because I do think he is very close in comparison, if not the same as Rose. They both just are pretty ridiculous. But I'm gonna support Rose there. I think Goten isn't as good as this. And I'd say they're pretty similar, but I'm gonna put this Frieza just above him. I think he's just got a slight edge with blast armor and everything. Okay, now here I'm pretty content with how this is looking. The order of Zenkais are, it makes sense. Mod Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Vegeta Blue, UI Goku, then this Vegeta. You know what? I'm honestly content with it. That's my tier list. I don't think anyone comes close to like C and D. I think C and D are like unusable. If anything, you could do this, but like I don't think he warrants. He's not too different from him. I'd say this dude. Actually, I would say he's in C. I'd say he does have. If you compare him to him, he's got like quite a bit of a difference compared to him, because I feel like this guy's fallen off quite a lot. I mean, he is one of the he's the oldest LF without a Zenkai, I'm pretty sure. He was the first anniversary LF, so yeah, he is definitely the oldest unit who's not had a Zenkai out of all of these. It's him next, and then what? Is it Mod of Vegeta maybe? But yeah, he's really due for a Zenkai, and honestly, Fusion Warriors could kind of use a purple Zenkai. I know the purple VB is very good, but I feel like he's literally the only unit you could use, so him being there would make it pretty nice. But yeah, that's my tier list. I got 3 in Z. I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think I got that one with me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, I did. For a second, I thought I kind of bought it twice, but I got 12 there. I've got 6 here, 2 in A, 1 in B, and 1 in C. So yeah, that's my Legends Limited tier list. I hope you enjoyed. If you agree or disagree with some of my takes on things, feel free to like tell me below who you think about, because I honestly think it's mainly the SS tier I think could be swapped around like crazy, because you can maybe put Future Gohan here, you can put this Zenkai Frieza like here or something. And honestly, I wouldn't really mind if you do it. It's just, if you think like, oh, this Frieza is absolutely trash, I'd put him below this Vegeta, then you're just, in my idea, like, a bit delusional. But I guess, sometimes it depends on how much you enjoy a unit and whatnot. But I'm trying to look at them just overall, like how well they do, how well they perform just in the meta today, and how well they have just still been doing over the time, mainly just MV being the MVP really. So yeah, that's my tier list. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, and if you want to see more in the future, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.